your phones out and your ring lights. We about to go live. Come on your phone screen, man, we going.
Welcome back to another episode of the Brady Way. Today I have the pleasure of talking to Johnie Tolman. Now, I was introduced to you by somebody who's on the show previously, and we'll get into that about their platform and how you use that. But everyone likes to know, as an entrepreneur and doing your own business, or kind of how that started. Because I don't think anybody ever grows up and we talk about saying, "Hey, I wanted to do this."
Yeah.
So, John, you're in the insurance space, and how long have you been doing that?
So we purchased the insurance agency in 2018.
Okay.
Before that, 2005, I was the vice president of a payroll company.
All right.
PEO, and just worked with a lot of different companies from heavily in construction.
Okay.
And I speak Spanish, so that allowed me to get into the Latino market, which has been awesome. We have a lot of, startup companies that are in construction that, have that barrier sometimes of, English, Spanish. And so I started doing that, and then kind of had a lot of success in the beginning, selling them payroll PEO services, and then got my license after the downturn in 2008. We decided to get licensed and started selling workers' comp, general liability, all of the commercial insurances. And so that was, when you sell PEO, it's good to have all the products.
Sure.
To, kind of hook your clients into staying with you if you can do all of the above and keep them happy. And so that's kind of where I started, and been doing it ever since.
You are seeing a lot of companies where they have it all under one umbrella.
Yeah.
And it helps with retention. People don't want to use 3 different services to accomplish, they want it all under one umbrella, and they want it simple and easy to use.
Yeah.
So how did you even get in the payroll business before? Did you just got a job out of college, or just because a lot of people aren't familiar with payroll, right? So let's talk, payroll is just, correct me if I'm wrong, explain that, what payroll is and why people would use that service.
Yeah. So right out of college, I used to do comedy, and I toured nationwide, and went to BYU, graduated there, started doing that. And then I was like, hey, it's not really where the money is. It's fun. I've met amazing people, been in a couple movies and all this stuff. That was a goal of mine. And then had two buddies of mine long time ago just said, hey, we're doing a payroll company. Why don't you come? You're good with sales. You're good with talking to people. And so I said, let's do it. So I got in and started learning, payroll, the payroll industry, specifically PEO, professional employer organization, or you've heard the term employee leasing. And
okay. Yeah. Like staffing companies?
Staffing.
Okay.
Well, you hear staffing, and that's kind of separate from this. PEO really encompasses, when you hear the term employee leasing, we're the employer of record, the PEO. They have all their tax ID numbers. So you join that umbrella, and then the client is the worksite employer. And so we work hand in hand together. The PEO takes the majority of the liability, but we do the HR, the taxes, verifications.
Well, I have a construction background as well, and I have a lot of friends that are still in the construction business.
Helping those, employers navigate.
They want to go out
world.
And they're doing the day labor. And to this day, they still use companies like yours to do their payroll, because they don't want to worry about all the back end.
Exactly. Yep. And that's how we pitch it. We get to know them. We find out what are their pain points.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like, oh, I've got to do payroll, and then I've got to manage the company. With us, we go in, we help them get all the employees set up, compliant with their I-9s and their W-2s online. And then we do background checks. If you have a lot of, we test the driving records of them. Basically, we get them all onboarded into the system and everything above board so that they can focus on, like you had said, building their company, building cells. And it's great because if we handle all of those for them, they're very happy because we're taking charge of the employee base and helping them there.
Something that's never seen usually, right?
No.
All the back end stuff that has to
Yeah.
be done before they,
Yep.
they're
like, oh, I had to lay off a couple of people. I didn't know what to do. So in this scenario, we will fill out all the appropriate information to submit that, separation agreement. And then we send the unemployment claims. We work with the state.
Wow.
And we, a lot of times they don't know that you have to go to a actual hearing and explain what the separation was. And so we help manage the unemployment claims, which has been awesome for a lot of companies. They have no idea all the regulations and things they have to, manage on a day-to-day basis. So
nobody goes to school and says, here's all the steps to start a business. Here's all the things you got to do from A to Z, right?
Exactly. And, with insurance, you always get that referral, that call. Hey, I need insurance. Oh, what type? I have no idea. I heard workers' comp. I'm like, do you have employees? Well, yeah, I have one. And so it's just education the whole time, helping them understand how business works. When you open up a new business, you need general liability, the commercial insurances. Oh, do you have trucks? Okay. Auto insurance, the whole.
Do you do bonds as well?
Yes, we do.
So someone, hey, I need to bond for this project, and you'll help them. Oh, good.
Yeah, we do a lot of bonding.
Yeah, I get questions on people ask me like, hey, I need someone for this, and I'm like, I only do this. I stay in my lane with the health insurance side and all
benefits.
Those other things. Yes.
Yeah, we have a small benefit arm, but it's consistent. Benefits, it's great because you can, a lot of times the employees nowadays are wanting more and more benefits to, work for a certain, to be competitive in how many employees you can get. You got to have pretty good benefits.
Oh, absolutely. So you fast forward. So you did just the payroll side. So what inspired you in 2018 to say we're going to buy this company? Was that out of need? Was that out of just the opportunity? How did that evolve?
Yeah. So they had 3 owners. One of the owners, he was an agent that started out. Like I had said, the downturn. They thought, well, PEO is great, but we need more products. We need more offerings. And so the employee with 2 other owners started the insurance agency. It was funny because I was vice president of sales, and so I was his boss. And then he was my boss on the insurance side because I got my license. And so we started out small, got a couple large appointments with local carriers that, for example, the workers' compensation, no deposit down, pay as you go. We helped establish that with WCF.
Wow.
And so that was one of our first appointments, which was a good appointment for us because of the construction industry and all of our clients. And so in doing that, fast forward, had a lot of success
bars
there.
that you eat.
One of the guys
Energy bar or
had a
something?
great opportunity
Okay.
to go work for one of our clients that was a company creating these. And so he was leaving with the other 2 owners. They said, hey, why don't we just sell this to you guys? Made sense. And so we purchased the insurance agency and I left the payroll. Had been doing that for a long time. When I left, they're like, hey, we kind of need more cells. We noticed that they started going downhill. And I said, well, I'm gladly going to, being a sister company of ours, makes sense that we could make all the offerings still. And so I came back, just kept selling, pushing the cells, and they said, well, let's give you ownership. We appreciate that relationship. And so that's how I was able to have, ownership in a couple of the PEOs there. And also it's just worked well because we can share leads. As far as marketing, I've we've never marketed, ever, never spent a dime on marketing, because it was always based off of the PEO sales, and those clients needed insurance, and so it would just funnel that way. Payroll, and then, okay, let's get you all these other things, like you had mentioned, bonding. Yeah, as you know, depending on what type of project, they're always like, I need a performance bond or a bid bond. I have no idea. Or a surety bond. What are they? And I'm like, I don't even know yet. So we started researching, and a couple of our carriers, we took some really good classes, and bonding is not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to be consistent, do it the right way, and then you'll always renew those bonds as they go. So yeah, after my business partner and I, we bought the insurance company, and then we just kept plugging the PEO cells, and so that's how we were able to, have that relationship continue. And then that company created an HR platform that's been awesome.
That's what I was going to get to here in a minute. So you go from payroll to the insurance side. Now you own a piece of the business, and I mean, and to me, it's like, hey, why not, right? And you're seeing it on the health side, where these doctors are now hiring third parties to just do the billing.
Yeah,
I mean, because it's time consuming, and it's a niche where they're laser focused to make sure that it's billed right correctly, because that cash revenue has to come in to keep the doors open, and obviously employees and so on.
Correct.
So you go from there to the insurance side. So tell me a little bit about the platform you're using, because we had the guy on the show about the platform. It's Cloud9. Is
Cloud9?
Yeah, Cloud9.
HR.
How that's able to help you, and what you've been able to do with it.
Absolutely. You had mentioned benefits. Any payroll company has to have, deductions set up correctly, based off of what the insurance company sends. Here's the rate for all these employees. We need the deductions to come out, and the third party pay to send those correctly. And so, Payday Benefits started this Cloud9 HR, which it's an HRIS system that when you handle the onboarding, you set up an employee correctly. Our insurance company, if I sell a health, benefit to them, as well, dental, vision, or a lot of the ancillary products, we send that to the payroll company, and they go in, and we've worked hard on explaining how it works. And so they kind of did a custom build for the benefit module that they can add to payroll. And it's been awesome, because we update them with the monthly amounts, or the annual amounts of what the health insurance rates are, and they go in and they set that up in Cloud9. And so if an employee open enrollment comes along, it's a new employee, wants to get health insurance for his family, he goes in, he can choose the plan on the platform, and then it notifies us what plan we put into the carrier.
And then you can do the proper deductions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because deductions are great. How many times have you heard employers, oh my gosh, I was with this company and it's all wrong. It's set up, I don't even know what insurances we have on the benefit side. And you kind of, lick your chops when you hear that. You're like, oh, I can show you how
to use the platform
better.
And that allows you to do what you're doing on your end, to ultimately make everybody's job easier. And it's a subscription based, if I remember.
Yep, it is. Yep.
And then with communication, and then the employee. So I help people transition, or my agents do transition from maybe a group to individual coverage, right?
Okay.
And when they do that, they don't even know what their deduction is a lot of times, because they don't see it. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
And they're like, well, I don't know what I pay for my insurance. I don't know what the deductible is. They want it when they need it.
Exactly.
But they're not keeping up with.
They don't understand what it is.
No.
Deductibles, they think like an HSA, a health savings account. They'll see, okay, well, a deduction's coming out of my check. Well, I've got to be contributing some money towards it. I'm like, well, you're not. This is just what you pay to have that plan. A health savings account. You know that you can contribute up to, if you have a family, $8,400. That's what you would choose to deduct per paycheck or per month. We can help you set it up.
Yeah.
But that's a side deduction that you have that the IRS has said you can contribute to this account tax-free, that you can use in an account that is your money. That travels with you no matter where you work. That is your money. I had a friend who had so much in his account with the IRS, he thought, well, I think I'm going to buy a boat because I've been really stressed. And couldn't that be medical? And I'm like, I wish that would be awesome. And I said, no, what happens? Let me explain. When you take that money out of your health savings account, you could try to prove the point that it's health related for your sanity or your mind. Bought a boat, driving a boat in the summer is amazing money. But nope, they're going to tax you at this rate. And he goes, it's okay. It's my money. I'm going to do it. So he and he paid 30% taxes, which he had it, and he didn't really go to the doctors ever, or pretty healthy all the time. And he's like, hey, I'm doing this. So kind of a cool feature, but he didn't know what he could use that money towards, because you can use it for anything medically.
Correct. Right? Which is what, I mean, for people that may not know, what can they use it for? Copay?
Yep.
Prescription?
Copay. You can go to Walgreens, buy stuff like Band-Aids, toothbrush. You can use it on that. Also, all of your prescriptions. A lot of different things you can use it for, but it has to be health related.
Chiropractic?
Yeah.
Acupuncture?
Yeah.
The one thing that I have learned or I've seen is that you got to make sure where you're using it has the proper credentials so they can swipe the card, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the merchant account that
merchant account that you give the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they're willing to bill it, right? And
absolutely.
And you can justify what the purpose of it was.
Exactly.
Curious how the guy got the boat run through that way.
Yeah, he just used it. It was his money. And they said, well, if you take that out of your account, we're just going to take the taxes out then, 30%. He said, done. I don't care.
Wow.
So it was interesting. I always use that story because it is his money.
Yeah.
But the IRS allows you to contribute into that account tax-free to be used for, like we had just talked about, all the medical stuff. But he just said, well, I'm fine. Medically, I would like to buy this boat. So it was fun.
Yeah, but it's a tax issue too, right? People, it's like, hey, I can, and that's the one. Sometimes you get questions asked, and people want permission, right? Knowing that it's a gray area, or that, but you know, I'm like, hey, I wouldn't do it, but hey,
I wouldn't do it.
You know,
yeah.
But you want to pay the taxes on that?
It's your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just educating that employee what he can or can't do. He was actually an owner of the company, had a small group plan. All of his workers were on an HSA as well. He had just over every year, max contributed.
Yeah. Every
single year for the family. And so, yeah, IRS, we checked with them. They're like, absolutely, he can use his money, but they got to pay us. So pay your taxes. That's great.
Are you seeing a lot more groups go to that HSA model because of people want to be able to manage their care or choose to do what they, were you seeing that?
Yes, because typically in that scenario, a small group plan, depending on what carrier you're with, those HSA plans are typically less expensive than the other plans that are available, fully insured. They have been choosing those a lot of times. It's also those employees that always say to you, it's good to have go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But they want to have coverage in case of that plan. They know they're going to have a high deductible that they're going to pay, which if they've contributed to the HSA, they have that money in an account. Yeah. So that goes towards paying that deductible. And then they have the coverage for a cancer experience, the company is going to cover them, after they meet their deductible. So HSAs are awesome. I think we try to educate a lot of our clients in the differences, because if you're not going to the doctor a lot, you pay your deductible, and it's less expensive than some of the other plans.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on how comfortable you are with that scenario of paying a higher deductible. But once you get in and you understand, look, I don't go to the doctor a lot. Everything I pay goes towards that deductible. When I reach that max out of pocket, they'll pay 100% after that. So we've been seeing a lot of success in those small HSA accounts.
I had a client call me this morning, and I had the conversation because they're like, "What's this premium for that I'm paying every month, right?" And I said, "Remember, we did this because of this, and this." And they're like, "Well, we don't see us using it. And I think it's money that's being wasted." And I said, "Well, let me remind you, insurance is about offsetting risk. Number one. Number two is how much money do you pay for home and auto, and you probably never submitted a claim." Yeah. I said, but if you drive a car, it's required. If you have a home, it's required. I said, this is obviously a choice you have to make. I don't have a crystal ball. Yeah. But on the other side, I don't want you calling me up and saying, why didn't you tell me? Yeah. Or I get this call. Someone calls me up and says, hey, Ty, that cancer plan you told me about, I want to get it. I said, what just happened? They're like, I was just diagnosed with cancer. And those are hard conversations. Yeah. Because I'm like, remember that plan I was trying to get for $30, $40, $50 a month? It would have given you the money to pay that deductible on your insurance. Yeah. Now you're going to pay it. Yeah. And because it's too late. That's right.
And that is, so to your point, education is key. And a lot of times you could explain 50 times to them what you did over the phone this morning. This policy covers this because of this. Like you said, it's risk. You're paying for coverage of risk that eventually might, something might happen to you. Yeah. And cancer, those are the calls that are the worst because you're like, I told you. And they're like, is there anything you can do? I was like, I would love to, but I can't. Yeah. My hands are tied because you never jumped on it earlier. Yeah. So great example.
I go at the two things is cancer, right? It's not if, it's when. Because if you live long enough, men are diagnosed with prostate cancer, 1 out of every 2, women 1 out of every 3 women with breast cancer. And it's like, I'd rather have that peace of mind, me personally, and spend those dollars than to deal with the other side. Because those conversations I've had where someone did pick up a cancer plan, they call me up and they're like, I said, don't worry about it. Remember, there's a cash bucket of money coming to you that you can use for whatever you want. Yeah. The day you're diagnosed. Yeah. I said, I don't hope that never happens, but I'd rather have that conversation than it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other one that's interesting is, how about dental? So the HSA, could it be used for dental?
Yes. Yeah, you can use HSA for dental. Dental is, like you said, it is interesting. A cool thing we have is our insurance company owns a master dental and vision plan. It's our own plan. So we get discounted rates. You go in, you can jump on, and it's nationwide coverage. And then we actually collect the premiums, and then we also pay the claims.
Oh, wow.
And so the neat thing about that is, if you have a good relationship, you feel comfortable, and then you start to see the coverage. We have 3 plans, gold, all the colors.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, bronze, based off of what type of coverage you want. And so the neat thing about that is we, open enrollment comes in, we offer them a really good group plan at discounted rates, and we've quoted them out before with other carriers, and it's lower, which is good. And
any
then
age?
orthodontics
any age to get dental
for children up to the age of 18.
Any age,
you can jump on. The gold plan has a plan with. That's another thing. They're like, hey, I'm an adult. I need to get braces. Does my plan cover that? I'm like, sorry, it doesn't.
Yeah.
because you're not 18. You look 18, but your teeth look 70. So no, we joke around, but no, dental coverage, yeah, it's good. Dental, vision, and vision, offers all the offerings are the same.
Yeah.
But it's good to have those little benefits to add to your workforce is awesome. To keep employees happy, I think employers need to educate themselves on plans that they can get. Like you mentioned a cancer plan.
Yeah.
Who knew? Employees, that's something that maybe employers can pay for the employee to have access to. It's not terribly expensive, but that's a benefit that they're giving to the employees. That's awesome.
In a competitive workforce and everybody competing for the same labor, you have to have those benefits. And more, it may not be dollar for dollar salary wise, but it's the overall package and value that is brought. And then in return is like, what is this person bringing to the table for the value proposition, right? It has to be a win-win.
Yeah.
And because, if you lose an employee, it could cost you more money getting them back.
Yeah.
Or I've seen where you lose an employee and they're like, wait a minute, I got to hire 3 to recruit to do what that person was doing.
Yeah.
And if that package was a little bit more attractive, right, it would help with that.
Yeah. And in our industry, isn't it funny? How many calls do you get saying, why is this so expensive?
Yeah.
Well, what isn't expensive anymore?
Yeah.
Right. I've never seen health insurance on a renewal be in the negatives. I never have. I've seen a couple really small groups. There was no increase, which I think that's a win.
Yeah.
But with the amount of, how expensive benefits have become, us as agents, we have to do our due diligence and find those plans that are good plans, that don't have a lot of increase, and also try to couple them with different plans and coverages that allows them, that's not too expensive, but that allows them to keep their employees happy.
Well, you've got a couple of things that happened. We had COVID, right? Where a lot of people didn't necessarily lose their insurance. Then the backside of COVID, people now are using their insurance. And then healthcare is changing in a way where, healthcare, having a relationship with your doctor is important. And they're knowing, they're seeing that if they can catch a disease quicker, the cost of care is less and the outcome for the patient is better. And I mean, my dad, 92, he would only go to the doctor if he was on his deathbed. Right. And it's like, no, go get your checkup. Go have a relationship with your doctor.
Be proactive.
Yeah. And now you get these calls from your provider because they're incentivized for you to go see them.
Yeah.
Say, come in and do your wellness check. Come do this. Come do this. And then you start getting a certain age. You're like, oh, come do this, 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 and this. You're like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Right. I got friends of mine that coach with. They're like, oh, yeah, I got the call to go get my colonoscopy. Right.
I was just going to say, you're like, I just got that call, so I have to get another colonoscopy. That sucks. But but you got to do it.
Yeah. But I had a good friend of mine. Use the insurance they have colon cancer, and don't wait till he got his a lot sooner because it ran in the family. So I mean, there's little benchmarks that everyone likes to achieve. But I encourage people to use.
So your dad's 92?
92.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I have 8 sisters and 2 brothers.
What type of water is he drinking?
Yeah.
I want to mimic his exact life.
It's genes. I think it's genes, right? There's a little bit of genetic, and he just worked hard. I mean, I think he takes 2 medicines, like high blood pressure and one other one. I mean, that's it.
That's awesome.
So I wish I could just keep that steady.
Yeah.
I was at a conference and the lady was talking about, in my day, I could see where people are literally printing their own organs, like a kidney, to replace their own based on advance in technology. And they were saying the life expectancy of people, you'll see more and more people reach 100 because of healthcare and the services that we now have that we didn't have before.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Advancements. So your I-9, you use this platform. What other ways has it benefited you with your side of it at work?
Well, having the HR products, it helps with giving one pitch.
Okay.
Basically. So I can go in, I can show the payroll. If I find out it's a new company, they need help with payroll, with insurances, then really I do a little demo of the site, and then I go through what they need on the insurance side. Really, what used to be multiple
Platforms?
multiple platforms all in one, and then all of my pitches, I had a pitch on, maybe 2 or 3 pitches for one client. Now I can do all the pitches within 20 minutes and explain it in a way that they understand it, and then I can, right out of the gate, I can get their payroll quote, HR quote sent in 2 to 3 minutes. And then I've got all the information prepared for the GL, the workers' comp, and then we can talk benefits. Takes a little more time on group benefits. Excuse me, but at least I have all the information at my disposal. I gave the demo, so getting them to yes is a lot quicker.
Okay.
Which having a yes in sales is good, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Not
a maybe. Oh, I'll talk to some of my other people,
and then their HR people can also use the platform as well.
Yeah.
So you're seeing it on one side. Their HR people can log in and say, okay, well, I can't remember exactly what your benefits are. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
And they can do it. And then the employee, does the consumer have access to the platform as well?
Yeah. So the great thing about it, we set it up with multiple logins and rights. So if you have, like you had mentioned, the HR team, they have the ability to log in, see all the status of the employees, where they're at in the onboarding process. If, we're only lacking a driver's license number, or we're only lacking a social security number, then the HR can log in and kind of see the progress. The employee has the ability to log in, get their pay stubs online, the W-2s at the end of the year online, really early in January. That's awesome. They have the ability to just hit a button that emails. They can email that to their accountant to set up, for a lot of young workers that are just, they want to file their taxes fast to get that money back. And so that's a benefit. They can see it online. You don't have to wait for the mail. It's all in the portal. So that's kind of a neat feature. And then owners also, you could have higher rights where you can see every moving part of the company. So yes, there's great login and security that you can go in and see every stage of the company and where you're at.
That's fantastic. John, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Any last thoughts you'd like to leave with our audience? And man, time went quick.
Oh, I know. No, just being a male model in this industry has been, 2 of the best looking agents you've ever seen. And I just think it's been a benefit. It helps us, sell. But no, I would just say it's been amazing. It's been fun. Get into this industry. It's a good industry. You can have a good work-life balance. And also if you treat it like you're really helping people understand risk and how to insure against it and help clients grow, that's an awesome job.
It's a win-win-win, and that's what you always want to do, right?
Yeah.
And people don't know what they don't know, and we look at sales as education.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And they have options. As always, share, like, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.